It is. So you can do your intro.
Can't have my fat showing, so I won't be sitting back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be holding the You're lucky I ain't crossed my legs. You got the whole body covered up.
Oh, you about to go, man. We live right now, man. Survival semantics.
Yes.
We talk about survival, the semantics of survival. We're survivors and good humans and good people. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's well. I got as my co-host today in this conversation is a survivor, a mother, an educator, a teacher. I think it's a difference between teacher and educator, right? I'm gonna give you both of them.
I take both of them.
Yeah. She's a daughter.
Advocate.
Yeah, she's a niece. She's an advocate. You know what I mean?
Sister.
A wife.
Yes. Can't forget that.
Got my sister D with me. How you feel?
I feel great.
That's good.
I'm ready to get this convo started.
Got you. Today, I wanted to talk with you about survival, of course, and kind of talking about the times that we're in. You know, you hear people talking about surviving at home with the kids and just about to be this upcoming thing of going back to school and how everybody's going to survive. So I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit of that. You know, how have you been surviving? You've been home with the boys?
Yes. I think it's bittersweet, you know. There's some good parts to it, there's some challenging parts, but in all, it was necessary. Because I feel like with the work...
What you mean, like the whole shutdown?
Yes,
right.
The shutdown was necessary. My husband and I, we have a middle schooler and a second grader, a rising second grader, and I just felt like we missed out on so much, and you don't realize how much you missed out on until the shutdown happened, you know? What they like, what they dislike, little quirks, little things that, you know, make them tick. So I'm kind of glad it happened, but, you know, with that comes the disappointments. You know, you can't see family, you can't travel, you can't, you know what I'm saying? And you really got to reach into your toolbox. So I feel like for those parents who don't really know how to parent, it is a chaotic household.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Let me ask you, because it sounds like you have a good outlook on it. I look at it like everything happens for a reason. I think it was a blessing too for other reasons as well. But you have a great outlook on it. So what are some of those things in your toolbox that you kind of dug into that maybe you can share? That maybe I hear everybody sounds chaotic. Like you sound like you want to know those new things. But other people are just like, shut up and go to your room, or
No. I mean, for me, we really had to understand schedules, quality time, mommy, daddy time, you know, time for the family, because when you all in the same space, days blend together, time blend together, everything makes one. And I feel that those families that didn't establish those norms early, I can clearly see why they're, you know, chaotic and just losing control and just needing time away from their kids. Like who wants time away from your kids? You know what I'm saying? It sounds crazy, but
sounds crazy.
I know some parents like just looking on Facebook and just talking to parent friends like, I can't wait till school open and I can't, and I'm just like, what? I'm loving my babies.
Yeah, for real.
I'm like scared to send them back, and not scared because of COVID, but just scared because we've gained so much in the time. Right. Like I feel like once I let them out into the world, it's just like, oh, we're back to square one. So like you were saying, what were some strategies that we used? For one, we made something out of nothing. Like a simple sit around the table after dinner, you know, we start singing songs, or, you know, we'll do a rhyme. Daddy would start with a rhyme and the kids will have to find a word to mix with that. Like it wasn't even buying anything. It was
got everything.
Right, being creative.
Yeah, it's the most important years of like development, you know.
Oh, I mean, there's
a range.
For me as a parent and educator, I see importance in multiple stages of ages, right? So thinking of a toddler, that's important too, because that's when language, you know, that's when relationship, right? And then they start to transition, right? About around 4th and 5th grade, they start to feel themselves, right? So like in the age where
but not from
is
toddler
now.
to 4th. It's got to be like a
No.
What's
I
fifth
feel like
grade? How old
5th grade is about what, 10?
10.
10. So I'm thinking like from like Kari's age where they're young, they're building language, they're building, so from about 9 months, right? From that infancy age, right? Even I take it back to the stomach because I feel that our children were so verbal because of the music, because of the books on tapes, because of the, I mean, we're naturally music people.
Right.
You can come into a house at any time and you hear music playing. And I'm constantly dancing and I'm singing, reading books. So that language skill starts from the seed, right? So that is a pivotal time, right? And then I feel like that age, like 4th and 5th grade, like going to that middle school where that puberty starts to hit in,
crazy.
You lose a lot of these babies because the world is cruel. Children are cruel. Like children themselves, like they are very mean and very, that bullying piece can really.
So we need that. Yeah, we still need that.
I mean, we
That's
need
part
it.
of that socialization.
We need it, but
Not the bullying. Let me not say that. 'Cause this is,
I mean, no, because let me tell you. So, no, because bullying for us growing up, I think we were built different. I really do feel that we were built different.
I think so too, but we were built different because we had to be built like that.
Right, for the time.
That's all we knew.
Right.
You know, but a lot of times I say, I mean, this might go someplace else, but it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're talking about. But I feel like we're exposed to a lot of stuff that we probably shouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but like the time called for it. So now, so you're telling me the children of this age are not being exposed? They got the internet, brother. That's a whole nother level of exposure. They have
you been on Twitter lately?
everything.
Twitter, they be straight up beating on Twitter. Like straight up porn on Twitter.
Yes.
6-7 minute clips, 5-minute clips of all no blur spots. Beating.
Listen.
I showed Kay something the other day. She's like, this is on Twitter?
Yes.
Don't kids have Twitter?
Yes.
I was like, yeah, I don't know. I just, you know,
so it's, I mean, for this age right here, they don't need to be built like us. It's a different package now. It's a different package, right? You're not even worried about bullying just amongst people face to face. You got to worry about cyberbullying. Like, it's another level. But what I'm saying is, because of the exposure that we had early, we kind of knew how to finagle it.
Add to our survival.
Right. But this group here, they have a lot more, but parents are sheltering them. So when they first see it, it's like, it's a shock, and they don't even know how to maneuver. Like, we were good at maneuvering certain situations because, you know, you got the crazy uncle, you got the drugs, like, you're seeing it. Your parents are not talking to you about it, but you see it. There's no way of hiding it. But I feel like this generation, the parents hide it well, but the children have an internet. They have something at the disposal where instead of auntie and uncle sitting and having a conversation with you, the internet is doing it first. It's hard to unlearn. Yeah. It's better for me to teach you for the first time.
How are they going to survive?
Who? How are we going to survive?
The kids. What do they have now that's going to add to their grit? That's going to add to their semantics, to their survival?
Transparency. Parents need to be parents need to be ahead of the curve. We're doing more work parenting here than me growing up in the 80s. I feel like now Copeland needs to have a conversation with our boys about things that I could not picture.
Yeah, I feel you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Like, even, and I don't know, I don't want to take it that far, but even with sexuality, like, I didn't have a conversation with my parents about sexuality, meaning
it was
liking girls.
Yeah, it was basic. It was reproductive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was birds, not really birds and bees, but it was reproductive. This is how we reproduce. This is what's going to happen. This is how you keep it safe.
Right.
You read this, holler at me in 24 hours. We're going to talk about this. Boom, boom, boom. Nowadays, it's just like, somebody like this person, this combination can hear. Right. It's deep.
Right. And not only is it deep, it's, you're not even prepared.
And again, and if you don't have
they're coming at you from 6 years old.
Illinois.
A 6-year-old is telling me, I don't want to be a boy, I want to be a girl. Like, as a parent, you're not ready there for that kind of.
I remember, like, my first kind of like introduction to a little bit of what was going on with that, especially in regards to the school system, think I'm quite sure it was you that was telling me about the kids not being able to say boys and girls.
Oh yeah.
Line up or something
so
like that.
So you just, it's line up. You don't have to say this is a boys line or girls line. You can't really distinguish between the restrooms and saying, oh, you know, this is only for boys or this is only for girls.
And now in Illinois, they have a thing where they have LGBT history coming up in the school system coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't have these conversations and you're not transparent, like you're saying,
right, that's gonna be
that's gonna be the first place. Right. With a mask on,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You talking about sexuality and you can't even touch the person next to you because you gotta stay 6 feet.
Right. So to bring it back, I feel that parents need to educate themselves. Parents need to parent. That right there is parenting, and that's parenting. Yeah. Those parents that don't guide their children and allow the internet to do the parenting.
I think I want to do that. I think I want to touch on that with you and Cole. Like when I, you know what I'm saying? Another setup and set something else up. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I mean?
I mean, even with the conversation with us coming together, I feel for our boys, they don't see like the roles, right? Like, or daddy's the one that's doing this, or mommy's the one that's doing this. It's not that. Like, this is your strength, this is where you're going to carry the load. This is my strength, this is, you know, where I'm going to carry the load. You know what I'm saying? So they're not, for me, I was raised where the man is the head of the household all the time. Like, he lay the law and that's just it. And you know what I'm saying? So it's good to have a partner where, you know, we can shift. Yes.
Key words, partner. You know what I'm saying? When it's a partner, it's like you said, shift past the baton. Nigga, I'm tired. Oh, give me the baton, you're tired.
Tap out, hear it. Yeah. So that would be a great, I think, that would be a great conversation.
Just parenting, like parenting in general, because you keep saying parenting. I know to me, I think I know what you're talking about. I know you guys could probably even, you know, school me on some things. It's been a while, especially since I had some little ones. But, you know, I think people say, oh, parenting. No, parenting is parenting. Nah. You know what I mean? And I'm saying y'all are perfect. I'm just saying y'all are in the trenches.
Right.
Every day, stop, put that down, come here. I said that already. You know what I mean? Y'all are in that trench right now.
And I think the biggest thing that's happening now because of all of this COVID pandemic, and like you said, we're spending so much time with each other, that transparency is key. Because I feel like even as parents, we make mistakes. And I grew up where...
That's I'm doing it.
Right. There's no book.
Motherfuckers don't come with no manual.
Thank you. But I feel like when we were being raised, and our parents, I want to say they fucked up. Like, there was some decisions that were made that was just like, ain't nowhere in heaven y'all thought this was right.
Nah, but they got
no.
As an adult, I always say like, damn, you know, I can feel they struggle, man.
No. There were some decisions that was made in the household. Let me tell you, I was raised Haitian, girl. And my brothers got to do what the hell they wanted to do.
Yeah, that's different.
I got 3 degrees. I still had to ask permission from my mama to get married as a grown woman. So we're not going to even go.
Come on,
No.
Come on, that's parenting.
Listen.
Nah, man.
Listen, we're not going to start. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. But the point that I was trying to make was...
The name of the game is always protect the queen, man. Can't even debate. I know y'all don't like that, but then that's the name of the game, man.
It is.
We can all finish off. You got 1,000 eggs and the whole future is right here in your stomach. Right here.
But it's more than that, right? It's a level of respect.
That's a lack of respect to say that you have to ask?
No. What I'm saying is that putting the daughters and the sons, putting the sons above the daughters, feeding daughters one narrative, feeding sons another narrative.
That's not.
I feel like when my brothers were getting certain narratives, I should have been sitting at the table. And what ended up happening was seeing them fuck up or having to cover their tracks. I learned, like, okay, there's certain things I'm not going to take from a man. There's certain things I'm not. And in turn...
And not even that, though, too. If somebody's telling you this narrative and telling somebody else this narrative, and you see what happens with this narrative, and they fuck it up, it's like, why would I do that? Like,
but why do I need to learn that?
Yeah.
But why do I need to learn that?
Yeah, that's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying? My thing was, I would have my brothers sneaking girls in one entry, and then the main chick leaving from the front door. Like, for me, seeing that, why wouldn't my mom say that's not right? Don't do that. Don't treat a woman like that.
She didn't know. She knew. All right, listen, we talking about parenting, education. You know what I'm saying?
Does he see my face, right? You see my face? You guys, listen.
Know what she's doing.
She know what she's doing because she's trying to build a macho man. Macho. The Haitians be like, macho. Oh, yes.
Look, let's
he got all these girls. Yes.
But let's talk about it.
He like girls. Yes.
Let's talk about it though. Everybody right now good. Everybody's skin good. Everybody good. Everybody good.
No, you know what it did? It fucked me up. It did. No, listen. Let me tell you. Because what ends up happening is, what's one thing my husband used to say? He used to be like, you think like a fucking dude. Like, you think like a dude.
So that's good.
Like, it's good.
That's good.
It's good, but what it does is it gives a female that
unfair,
masculine, macho, like, nigga, all I need you for is to lay the pipe. I got shit, okay? I got it down. I don't need you to do nothing else. Bills are paid. Like, you're not letting a man be a man. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that.
Yes, true.
I had to learn that being married.
That's
Because
good,
I've never seen.
It would be bad. You know what I would say? It would be bad though. It would be bad if you didn't learn it. It would be bad if you wasn't having this conversation. Then,
listen, my marriage would have been over before I could learn it.
But that makes you sharper though. I mean, it's almost like learning how to box lefty when you was a righty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Even if you had to learn it fucked up, somebody tied your hand behind your back.
Still learned it.
Now you come back and like, you know what? I know how to do this and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can always take away, but you can't always add on. Some people you can't give that grit to. You can't give some people that grit. They just won't do it. But if you have that grit, all you gotta do is just
clean it up.
Clean it up.
Yeah,
just shine.
It take you about 10 years to clean it up.
Oh, man,
you need counseling to clean it up.
It's a marathon, man. It's a marathon, man.
But you made me forget what my point I was gonna make.
What was you talking about?
With parenting. And the point I was making was, with this generation, with my husband and I, what we do because of everything that's happening is, when you are parenting and you know as a parent you have made an error in the decisions or in the direction or just the intentions were wrong, to sit and have those conversations. I feel like everyone is going to be okay because there's so many levels of loss.
What do you mean?
Like
lost
children are actually seeing people die. Like there's a story behind this whole pandemic. I feel like children will come in and take it serious because
they remember when they had to sit at home and get ignored or get drilled in algebra or whatever.
Right. Or even the worst of the worst, like be home and no food, no.
Somebody had to get quarantined and now the breadwinner's not making no bread.
Right. So I feel like because there is a story and everyone is coming in with their individual story, their narrative that's near and dear to them, I feel that the children are going to want to be back and want to be back under any condition. Now, parents who have their fear, and I am one, I have my fears.
What's your fears? What's the main fears?
For me, it's just, I don't know who to trust. I don't know what information.
As far as the district, the governor, like that,
right.
When that level?
The CDC, like our president, not my president, but the president. It's just so much information and so much fake news that you don't know what to believe anymore. You know,
we definitely gotta believe in our immune systems, and we definitely gotta believe in sciences that was laid forward to us from the ancestors, because we got that on our side.
Right.
What are some of the things that you could say? We all about survival, so it's bigger than hand sanitizer in the classroom. Is it? I just can't see this whole thing with everybody got their mouth covered. Mm-hmm. Like I have a problem with windows being covered. I know in Florida some schools don't even have windows in the classroom. Yeah. Like how the hell you don't have windows? So now those kids don't have windows and their mouths are covered.
Right.
Like that's crazy.
I mean, for me, my biggest thing is education. Looking at education through a new scope, right? I'm not saying that we have to be completely virtual. I'm not, because I believe that there's different type of learners. And for me, I am big on feeling people's energy, being in the same space. The Zoom thing is just not for me, and I don't think it works. For you? For me.
But you think, have you seen it working with kids that you work with, different things? Have you seen it with the kids, it's not working?
No. I can tell you that for a fact it's not working for the children.
So we gotta go back.
The biggest issue of it not working, I know for this state, was when the governor or whoever it was did not require it and make it mandatory. We lost, I want to say,
make what mandatory?
Education. It wasn't mandatory. The virtual learning piece was not mandatory in the beginning. And we lost, I want to say, a good 65 to 70% of our children.
What do you mean you lost it? What does that mean?
Lost
like,
meaning
they failed grades?
They were not mentally here. They were not mentally there to learn.
They lost them in the space to learn.
Right.
About you.
The space of learning. They were no longer present with us. They will log on to say they logged on, but there was no way of incentivizing something that we as adults didn't give value to.
This might be a silly question, but you made me think about it just now. So that's interesting. So as being an educator, as being a teacher and talking to the class, you're almost like a DJ, almost, right? Or like a performer, right? Because you just said you lost them. So you could actually feel the energy in the classroom when everybody's involved.
Yes.
That shit must feel dope.
Let me tell you, that thing is a high. Let me tell you,
what,
teaching.
For you or for them or just for everybody involved?
For me, it's a high because I feed off of my children. I feed off the energy. I feed, like, the biggest high for me is seeing a child who didn't get it, was completely lost, and you could tell that light bulb just went ding.
And now they all in. Now they got the answers they wanted first.
Listen, let me tell you, that is like the best feeling ever as an educator.
For the whole new math thing?
New math, new reading.
You know the new math?
Yeah.
You're a genius for that. I just want to go on record for saying that you are.
It's not new math. I hate when people say it's new math. It's just another way of teaching. It's a process.
All right,
it's a new process.
A new process. That's
it's like saying, oh, there's a new way to read. There's no new way to read.
Poppy always says that too. I'm always like, whatever we I don't know how me and Poppy get into conversations about math, and we'll get into like arguments about math, right? And then it always comes down to, I'm like, oh, Pop, I only know street math. And he always says, math is math. He always says, so if you know street math, you're good. And that's how argument always starts. It's not good, I'm telling you, it only works in ounces.
Listen, my biggest, I want to say turning point for me in education, I was working in Brownsville. And at that time, it was 3rd grade, and there was a lot of drugs in the area. I was in between Thomas Boylan. What was the other project? I forget the other project, but in between 2 projects. And the children would come down the hill with the book bag, and then by the time they get to the bottom of the hill to get to class, they didn't have a book bag. So we knew the gimmick was they were running drugs through their bags. But this young man, 3rd grader, hated math. But he knew when by the time he get down, his money better be right, the load better be right. And we would have this conversation, and he's just like, a kid, 3rd grade.
Other than the drug factor, we was talking about exposure and like what happens at different fundamental ages. That might be, I'm not saying, let me see how I say this before I sound bogged down. But because I mean, other than the drug factor, that's some real like entrepreneurial shit at 3rd grade.
Right, but that's how I had to approach him. Because my approach to him was like, I knew this is what was happening. He didn't come out and say it, but then I told him, like, okay, when you get, $250 and you have to leave $80.
Hold up,
and
before you
like,
did you conspire with him?
I did not conspire with him. I connected the curriculum to his everyday.
Okay.
If children don't see the curriculum,
that was more than
see
10 years
themselves.
ago.
Listen. If the children don't see themselves in the curriculum, they can't connect. I was just making a connection. This is what you do every day. This is what you're doing. So you can take this and bring it to here.
But you know what?
It's no different.
That's real.
And he's doing math off the dome.
They said that was a problem when we were younger, if I'm not mistaken. I remember, I forgot the term they had for the test. Like, what was it, like the SATs, and they were saying that, little Johnny had 10 eggs, and then you took his hens. How many did he produce? We're like, no about no fucking hens.
I'm not on the farm.
I'm not on the farm, but like you said, you relate to little Rakeem over here, you know what I mean?
Listen, if this is what it's gonna take, this is what it's gonna take. Even with the little WIC, we had Monopoly money.
It was WIC money?
It was WIC money, like we was... It sounds bad, but the kids, let me tell you, something as small as that a little
It
thing,
catches their attention.
them.
And now you're teaching them math.
It's every day for them. Thank you, but
that's
understand.
Just let's be clear. That's
yes, but guess what?
Is it food stamps? Because I feel like I'm just politically off today. Is WIC food stamps? Is WIC food stamps?
I think so. I don't know.
It's not food stamps. Let's not.
You have EBT, the EBT, but now they got the EBT card.
EBT card. Okay, right.
But I mean, all of that to say is just
you
gotta build the relationships. You gotta build the relationships.
It is.
And the work of teachers is to
connect those dots.
Connect the dots.
So that's a lot of it. Connecting dots, scheduling.
Right.
Shit, a little bit of parenting.
Right.
A little bit of parenting. There was something else you said that was in the pot. Well, I'm an educator there.
So you said building relationships.
Oh, you're a DJ, you're a superstar too, because you're feeling the energy.
Feeling the energy.
You're feeling the energy in the crowd.
Right.
Definitely.
And like I said, that would be I think that's the hardest part with virtual learning, because feeling the DJ means you have to be in the space. You have to be in the space to receive energy.
Yeah.
So when you in that virtual space.
36 kids, you got one kid, he's a little square up top.
Listen, let me tell you, the whole virtual screen looked like this the whole time. All you see is kids on mute. And I'm like, what is going on in this screen? Listen. And in the class, that would not be acceptable.
That's not acceptable.
But in virtual world, that's what they were doing.
These parents aren't surviving out here right now. They're not
No.
surviving. Inmates is running the house right now.
Listen. And I think that is going to be the problem with this virtual learning.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something also. We're not asking parents to be teachers. We're not. We're asking you parents to be parents.
And we're coming back with how to be parents coming up. That's big.
Because for me, our boys know alarm goes off.
When you guys gonna write a book?
We got plenty of books we're trying to write.
Write them. Put it on audio that is just in the air, whatever date this is, whatever day, whoever hears this. It's no editing. I want you guys to write a book. Right now, it's so easy to write. We want a parenting book. We got a guerrilla gardening book. We got But see, those two right there, you guys have enough time in to actually speak on those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about maybe intermediate expert, okay? But you guys can talk about it for the people.
Planting the seed.
Yeah, man. I want to do the parenting thing, but that's real easy, man. Now I'm gonna say, fuck that. It's real easy, man. Yeah, because you can do an audio and transcribe it.
It's easy for you. Time. It's time.
Scheduling.
Yeah, you're right. Look at it. You throw my words back at me.
Yeah, it's about the scheduling, you know what I mean? You might have to, when you get to
Let me stop making excuses.
When you get to mommy daddy time, you know what I'm saying? 45 minutes of that.
Now, I ain't shaving time off my mommy and daddy time. No. I'm gonna write a book about that. Shit.
No, but see, this is this time though. Like, you're an educator. You both are educators. It's a long time. This dude was raised by an educator. Like, this is bloodline shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's jewels to be given out. And like you said, it's a lot of virtual learning.
Right.
Not just 1/3 of the school system's going back.
Right.
1/3 of people right now are learning more virtually.
Right. You're
right.
right.
Everybody was already Googling shit before.
But I mean, that brings back to, I think I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers, and she's a sister, and she was just like, what is it that we're doing wrong? Because in her words, she was more or less saying, like, it feels like history just keep repeating itself, and it's going to keep repeating until we figure that one piece of the puzzle.
What you mean, history? This what's going on right now?
I mean, everything.
This hasn't repeated itself. That's a whole other topic.
I mean, there's never been another pandemic. You had all types of pandemic throughout history that we've made it through.
I don't think there's been a 2020 yet.
With pandemics? I mean,
everything.
You have Great Depression, you have Ebola. What was before that?
What I'm saying is, think about this though. I'm not discrediting anybody's time frame, but I'm not disrespecting history or anything like that. During the Depression, they was broke.
Right.
Right? For us, it was broke, and it was probably Jim Crow, a lot going on.
Right.
Right now, we sick.
The Spanish flu.
Spanish flu was the early 1900s too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So what about the one with the rat infestation? What was that one? I forget that one. The bubonic plague or the plague, black plague, right? I mean, for me, like, I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying that there's signs
right now. That I think that, to me, I just feel like it's coming to a head right now. I feel like it's nobody saying. Just think about it. Every time we turn around, it's either something however you want to count. I don't know, people got different theories and shit, but let's say it's something real and then a distraction, something real then a distraction, or distraction,
and
or
real.
let's just say, for argument's sake, it's all real. Real. Like the pandemic might be fake, might be real. The social distance might be fake, might be real. Might be like a virus, might not be. Will Jada, fucking Nick Cannon,
losing his job.
They're telling people and then apologizing a couple of days later. They're telling Semitic people that they're anti-Semitic because they speak to people about their shady history. That same people that allow those same real Semitic people to talk shit and trash their own community all day. Like, this is Uncle Murder. Well, he needs to come out right now with a wrap up for this year.
No, he can't do it yet because there's a lot more shit to
come.
Well,
he needs 2 parts.
No. Let me tell you something. It's gonna get
this
worse.
This shit started off with the dude getting killed in Iran.
It's gonna get worse. Listen, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. I feel like there's more to come. I really do. It's July. There's more to come.
The next couple of months spelled Jason. They said like Friday the 13th.
Jesus.
So that's this one. This is one.
Let me tell you something. Back to the conversation I was having with my homegirl. Her biggest thing is it's something within us in the cycle that we need to kind of really reevaluate what we're doing. Even with just the knowledge of, I think she was bringing up like the Black Wall Street, just our history, and she's just like, there's things that keep repeating. And I feel like for now, for us as a people, I just feel like we really need to come together and really have, I don't want to say do a Black Wall Street again, but we need to archive our education, archive just all the footprints that we're putting in history and kind of pull that together. And I don't want to say make a town of just us. But
say that. You know why? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing, people make it seem like we have towns that's all white people. Even if they say they're down with us and they're cool, I get you, bro, but it's still all y'all. If you didn't do it by design, it was designed for you. So, I mean, why not? I don't understand why everybody takes that as anti-something else because you pro something else. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a head-to-head game.
And then, too, like, just thinking about education, like...
Everybody's not down, too. I just want to make that be clear. Everybody's not down. Like, it's not about... I don't have people say unity a lot. And I'm big on like some Nat Turner.
But you have your own people that's not down too.
That's what I'm talking about. So everybody that's you gotta vibe with your tribe. You know what I mean? Nat Turner said, whoever's down to die for this shit, step forward and shit. You know what I'm saying? I think he said die for this shit, or was he killed for this shit? He said die for this, step forward. And then for people who didn't step forward, first thing you gotta do is kill them people right there.
Because then they'll be
they get in the way. And it comes down, like you was about to say, education.
But I was just thinking, like, just for me, like, we have so many people that hold jewels. Even our ancestors, our elders. But what happens in this system now is we downplay them because they don't have the degrees, or we downplay them because
not even that deep. It just be, I get called an old head. I'll be laughing so hard. How am I an old head? I used to say old heads when I was younger. This dude was in his 70s when I was like 12. Right? How the fuck am I an old head? It's baffling to me, but things happen so fast that you're not popular no more after 20. People make it seem like after 25 is it.
But I think that's where the problem is. I feel like I was just reading an article in Brooklyn about that 1-year-old that got shot, and I'm just like, we're the OGs, like we're the older people. You know what I'm saying?
They're not respected over there.
Which is the problem. This is the problem in our system, in our community, because in the past, when an older person says ... you step back.
Older person don't gotta say ... You can see Miss Dot on the bus, and you know you just gotta pipe down. You know what I'm saying? You know Miss Dot will put hands on you. If she don't put hands on you, she gonna tell somebody that can't put hands on you.
And I feel like before we can include other people to police us, we need to learn how to police ourselves. Like, we need to educate ourselves, and that is the piece that is missing. I feel like a lot of these youths are running around here with nothing in the mental, nothing up here. They want to rock around with the big gun, flex sneakers, like they are all in the fog.
Yeah, we definitely need a new survival protocol. How are we going to survive this thing a little differently? Survival, to me, is not... just making it. Like, you know, surviving is not just, you know, having a little campfire with some hot dogs and a stick. You know what I mean? Surviving is being able to pull a piece of salmon out the water and do what you got to do with it.
But that's a mindset shift, right? That's a mindset shift. It's a shift, and the thing is, who is providing this? Who's providing?
The elders have it, like you said.
The elders are not saying jack because they're
tired.
Exactly.
They're tired.
They're tired.
You know, a 27-year-old. See, I think it's our job to communicate down to like the 30 cats, the 29, 30 cats. Them cats' job is to talk to them early 20s cats, and them cats' job is to pass it down to them late teen cats. But you can't
pass something down you don't have.
That's what we got to start.
You don't have. Half these, like, for me, I was having a conversation with a young lady, and something as filling out an application. You are 20-something years old. Why do I need to break down what's on this application for you? Like, there's certain things you need. It's a. That's what I'm saying. Like,
customer service, they have. It's like it's a gap. So you're absolutely right. Because applications, I've seen people come to jobs with like cut up jean shorts.
Oh my goodness!
One was looking at me like, "Damn, dog, you on a long sleeve?
Listen,
you out here just for an interview?" Like, what?
Like, but you see how simple that is?
I guess, but see, we come from New York. We come from an era where you pull up at a job. Listen. It's 100 people in line. They all got on a white button down shirt. All right, who got on a tie? Only 10 out of 20 got on a tie. Who got on a clip-on tie? All right, it's 5 out of 10. It's just narrowing down. The blazer bomb. Who got on cufflinks? Bomb. Whose shoes really matches? Who like they go on the court? You know what I mean? Like it narrows down. It narrows down. It gets real petty, but
it's funny that you said that because even now when I came out here, they call me New York at work. It's like, where you going? Like. Where you going? I'm always dressed to the T. Thank you.
And sometimes you don't even be dressed to the T. I just match. You know what I'm saying? I bought some quality shit a few years ago. This old thing. I've been had. I bought some quality shit a few years ago. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, how you put it together. How you put it together.
I appreciate the compliment.
Thank you. Like, so I definitely, like, maybe, I don't know. That's another conversation for another day. We're gonna have a bunch.
I mean, I really definitely appreciate you chopping it with me. Survival Semantics. You know, it's me, it's you. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, I can't do it dolo, and I want to see, you know, just me and you. And then I'm like, damn, gotta get Cole, bitch. So how about you just Cole? I mean, they gotta get K. They gotta go to Poppy. Yeah. So I'm just gonna touch everybody, and whatever we just burn our fire, we gonna burn it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get more mics, more blessings on blessings, and everything.
I mean, it's good conversation. I'm glad you
invited me. It's documented, like you said. It's just documenting things that we're doing, things that we're trying to do. This shit sticks on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like digital real estate.
I'm glad that you're the one doing it because what happens in our community is people are so title driven. You know, you have to be Dr. So-and-so, or you need to have this much degrees, or no, we don't need to have any of that. You need to have the experience, you have a voice.
And you know me, I'm rough around the edges, man. Let's flip over 2 buckets. Let's have this conversation, you know what I mean?
But I'd rather have the
No
conversation.
cap, none of that.
Right.
We're just talking, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just that's all it is. It's just
a conversation, but understand that the big picture, and I'm always big picture, is that this conversation somewhere, somehow is going to change the narrative. Yes. It's going to change the narrative. Somebody's light bulb is going to go off. Somebody's going to want to be a part of the conversation, whether it is with you.
It might spark another conversation.
Thank you.
That's what I want.
Right. And that's, I think, is the purpose.
I can talk all day. You see, I can run through a bottle of these. That's how I know. I feel like, what's my man from Ladies Man? Well, I'm down to a half a bottle of Kvassier because I can go all day. Yeah. Especially when it's about some building. But yeah, I appreciate you, D.
Definitely. Anytime.
We're going to come back with you and Cole. Cole, got still running? Oh, yeah, we good. All right, I appreciate you, man. Survival Semantics.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all for fucking with us. It's a ride, excuse my language. Love y'all.
Bye.